Hi there, I'm Hunter. We've not met before. I'm the website editor of evo.co.uk and I'm here to bring you a brand new series for our YouTube channel. It's called Evo Unwrapped. Now essentially, every so often a car comes along that's so exciting, we just want to tell you everything that we can about it before we've even driven it. That's where Evo Unwrapped comes in. This is about bringing you the most in-depth technical analysis that we can on a car before Henry, Dickie, Dan and Jeffro go and have their fun with it. Now we're kicking things off with a bang. The car we've got behind me, of course, is the brand new BMW M2. The heart of any M car, of course, is the engine. So without further ado, let's take a look at it. The engine in the M2 is a 3-litre single turbo straight six. It's the N55 motor, not the S55 twin turbo motor that you find in the M4. But what BMW M has done is lifted some of the best bits from the motor in this car's bigger brother. That means the crankshaft, bearing shells, piston and exhaust have all been lifted over to the M2. But the real fundamental difference between the engine in the M4 and the M2 is the way that the turbocharging works. In the M4, it's a twin turbo, and this is a single twin scroll turbo. Now the benefit of a twin scroll turbo is one, that it's lighter, but also the idea is that it boosts engine response. All that translates to 365 brake horsepower, 343 pound-foot of torque, and you get a temporary overboost which brings an extra 26 pound-foot of torque. The M2 is actually only 3 brake horsepower more powerful than an RS3. For comparison, the 1M, that was 335 brake horsepower, and its bigger brother, the M4, that's a whole different league, that's 424 brake horsepower. A little bit like how the motor steals some of the best bits from the M4, so too does the braking system. What you've got here is 19-inch forged aluminium wheels wrapped in a set of Michelin Pilot Supersports. And as you can see, those brakes, they're 380mm discs and 4 piston calipers up front, 370mm discs and 2 piston calipers at the rear. Those have come straight off the M4, and unlike, say, the Audi RS3, there's no option to spec carbon ceramics. They can actually be spec'd on the front of an RS3. As for the tyres, they're 245 35 ZR19s at the front and 265 35 ZR19s at the rear. Now, a lot of you are going to be wondering what exactly separates this car out from, say, an M235i. Most obvious thing, all this bodywork on the front end. What that means is the 35% reduction in lift over a normal 2 Series, but M Division haven't quite stopped there. Aluminium is the order of the day with this car, so you've got things like aluminium wheel hangers, and then actually at the back, the entire rear axle is made out of forged aluminium too. Of course, there's also that active M differential. Now, there's other things like little nod to the 1M here. You've got these nice wheel arches. I'd prefer it if they're a bit bigger, but you can't have everything. And then at the back, you've got a diffuser and of course the quad exhaust. The gearbox in the M2 comes in 2 different flavors. You've got a 6-speed manual which gets throttle blip on the down change, and BMW says a lot of people are optioning that gearbox with their car. Or alternatively, you've got the 7-speed DCT auto. If you go for the 7-speed, you're going to get the same 0 to 60 mph time as the M4, that is 4.3 seconds, and the car is limited to 155 mph. Now, there's a couple of cool features with this DCT gearbox. One is you get something called smoky burnout mode, which basically allows for more wheel spin during a launch, so you do a burnout. The other thing as well is if you do a conventional launch, you can actually control the RPM of that using the plus and minus buttons on the steering wheel, which in some scenarios might help you get away quicker. BMW hasn't gone quite as all out as how they did with the M4's interior in the M2, but what you do get are these nice Dakota leather wrapped seats. There's a bit of extra side bolstering, there's Alcantara here, there's some carbon fibre, and of course you get the M steering wheel. What you can also do is specify some M performance parts. So if you want to swap this steering wheel out for one that's Alcantara wrapped with shift lights, you can do that. And last but by no means least, they've also included functionality for something called the BMW M app. And what that lets you do is see GPS data, acceleration times, lap times on your smartphone when you directly link it with iDrive in the car. Clearly the M2 is a car that we're all really excited about. We've been waiting a long time for BMW to build this thing. Now, if you're interested in one, it's going to cost around £44,000 in the UK, which is a bit more than rivals from Mercedes and Audis, but then look at it. And it's not a Cayman GT4 situation, so you can still get hold of one. Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, make sure that you subscribe to Evo's YouTube channel for more. Like I said earlier, I can't drive this thing, but I have been waiting all day to do this. Click on
on the left to watch our video on the Ford Focus RS, or on the right to watch our video on the Porsche Cayman GT4. We'll have more Evo Unwrapped coming very soon, so make sure you subscribe to the channel.